Subbar Cubes. That sounds like the #1 smash from Halfway to Heather.
Yeah, exactly.
Subbar Cubes.
Welcome once again to Chill Filtered, the podcast where we drink whiskey so you don't have to. But you probably should, and you probably are, and that's why we like you. This episode, I believe it's episode 209 of Chill Filtered. We are drinking very old St. Nick, antique barrel, and that's a 12-year. And we'll get into that in a bit. But before we even get into how we're doing, let me talk about some business ways to support us. We are going to plan on doing a drink along soon. So if you want samples couriered right to your door to drink along with us on YouTube Live, let us know by going on to patreon.com/chillfilter and signing up for the $10 tier or more per month. And we will not only get you a sweet stemless Glencairn and some stickers, we will get you some Patreon samples couriered right to your door every 3 months, and we'll be drinking once a month with you guys. So keep an eye out for that. And if you're not already a Patreon member, we could use your support. I'm just going to say this. We still don't make money off of this podcast. We basically put it right back into drink-alongs and such like that. So if you want to support us and you want us to be able to make a little more than what we
to
put
do a
back
little
into this
more
podcast. Yeah. What's that?
We'll make a little more. We'll do a little more.
Yeah, we'll do a little more.
Honestly, we're invested like this. We're just invested in the community.
Exactly.
This community.
And we love it.
And
we love that part. So, that's all I got for the business. Robby,
can I add one more business?
Something else? Business.
One more business.
Uh-huh.
We didn't get any pictures drawn this week. There's no bean cam.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys hate the bean cam. Maybe that's the point of this is people hate the bean cam. They don't want to see the bean cam.
Yeah.
So they're not going to support us with fun pictures from their children.
All those girl dads, talk to your daughters out there.
All those boy dads.
That too. Bryce Marita. I think he's our only boy dad. That I'm like convinced that he's like only boy dad.
Only has boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
So speaking of only has girls, you had a birthday celebration yesterday.
We did. Yeah, it's been an interesting. Yeah, it was kind of an interesting birthday for the girls. It was great.
Oh, yeah?
They turned 5. So fun. Well, I mean, just wasn't fully celebrated kind of a thing, which is typically what you do as an adult, right? Like you go, okay, my birthday is on this Wednesday, and then my friends are out of town that weekend, so maybe we'll just celebrate it in 3 weeks from today. Like, right? Like, and that's kind of what we're doing with the twins, where Chelsea had to work yesterday, and so just me and the twins, and then had swim lessons in the evening with friends of our family. So it wasn't like they're close friends sort of a thing. So we said it was a fun day. It was, oh my gosh. So they wanted they wanted chocolate chip pancakes with chocolate chip whipped cream for breakfast.
Nice.
Said, perfect. Made them up, had them looking all pretty. And you know what they ate? Just the whipped cream.
Not that.
Nope.
Oh,
not
really?
Not a pancake was bitten too. Okay. No big deal. That's fine. It's their birthday. Then grandma wanted to take them out to go to Target to go pick out their birthday gifts. And they wanted cake pops. And I said, cool. You know what? Since it's your birthday, I'm going to buy you 2 cake pops.
Nice.
You know how many cake pops they ate?
4.
Half. They ate half of a cake pop each. Yeah, they didn't even finish their cake pops. And then they really wanted spaghetti. They really wanted spaghetti for lunch. And I was like, cool, I'll make your spaghetti. Made them spaghetti, and they maybe had 2 bites. And the rest was
spaghettis.
Done. 2 spaghettis. 2 spaghettis.
Yeah, 2 spaghettis.
And then for dinner, they wanted pizza. And they had we ordered pizza, and they had maybe a slice each. But then they were like mad, I misunderstood. They didn't just want pizza. They wanted daddy to make them pizza. And when I make homemade pizza, you know how much they eat?
Not much. Wow.
So no, it was fun. Then it was just, if 5's a big deal. 5's one whole hand, man.
Dude, you'll need one more hand after
next
this
year. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. So they're 5. And I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy to think and they were Finley was 3 pounds 6 ounces when she was born. She was lighter than that bean can I sent you this week. So it was, Juniper. I just think of how tiny they were, and now it's they'll be in kindergarten next year. They
Oh my
like
goodness.
and then today was a little crazy. So like Chelsea's working again today, and
Mm,
we kind of did some stuff around the house, clean things up, and we went to the neighborhood pool, and all of a
nice.
sudden like we were there for about almost 2 hours, and all of a sudden
Hmm.
Mark goes, "Hey, Dad, Juniper's foot's bleeding." I was like, "Oh no, go over there," and like it's bleeding enough to where like you can see the blood in the water, kind of a thing. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like r- undiluted
Yeah.
kind of at that point.
Hmm.
So I pull her out, and like, God, she had blood all over the concrete and stuff. So like,
Oh,
and I
it was a
and
bad
so like,
cut.
yeah, it was a pretty good cut. I haven't looked at it quite. Like, I just
You just left
so I
her
ran.
after you
I
didn't
was
heard
like,
her
"Eh,
text.
forget this. You're 5. You can take care of it." So
Yeah,
I
I got
ran
a
home.
drink.
I ran home and I grabbed some band-aids and then like drove the van back because we'd walked there, and I just put a band-aid on it right away. So I was like,
Mm,
if it stops bleeding, great. I know it's probably
great.
okay. When
Yeah.
Chelsea gets home, we'll take it off. She can look at
Yeah,
it,
she's a nurse practitioner. She's
And
got it.
Chelsea was like, it's a very vascular area, Robbie. It will bleed a lot,
Ah,
especially with water on it. And I was like, I just saw blood everywhere, and I felt bad for my baby. So that happened. So it was
yeah.
one of the. So it's been a little bit of. I probably would have set the bean cam up, but I was like, it's been a little bit of a crazy afternoon.
No, it's all good. Is
So
Juniper okay now? Like, is she like, was
yeah,
she
it's
okay?
not. Yeah. No, she's the probably our toughest girl of the bunch right
Yeah.
now. So although
Mhm.
Amara did go in for her like 7th grade 12-year-old vaccines yesterday, so she's like in
Oh,
both arms. It's like she got 2 in one side, 1 in the other. She can't move her
ouch.
arms.
You
She used
can't
to
even
be
like
our
lift
toughest girl.
anything after that.
Yeah. Well, she can lift things that are fun. That's
Yeah,
apparently
yeah.
the
Like her phone.
yeah. So no, it's been a good week. And then also I finally got my Father's Day gift. Can I tell you what it was? What it is?
Yeah, please.
So it's kind of funny. Chelsea ordered it for me, and I pulled it out. It's like it's got this like butane, like refillable butane,
Okay.
like low torch kind of thing with a bunch of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
different wood chips, so you can make your own smoky
Ooh.
cocktails. And I
Yeah.
pulled it out, and I was like, "Oh man, that's cool." And I was
Wait.
like, "That's really." It says chill filtered, and she's like, "Oh yeah," and she kind of laughed it off. And so then like Mara was talking to me later, and she goes, "Oh man, how did?" I was like, "Well, chill filtered is just like a whiskey term. I don't know why it's on this per se, but it is, and it's a whiskey term." And Chelsea goes, "I had it personalized for you." I'm like, "Well, why didn't you tell me that?"
That's
So anyway,
funny.
like the little wood cap that you burn on
I
top of,
love it.
I got a little chill filtered
Yeah.
one. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited. So this week, 4th of
Smoke you some
July,
cocktail.
4th of July, I'm smoking some cocktails.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for that. So anyway, it's been a good week. How about you,
Speaking
man?
of smoking a cocktail, I got a
Uh
pastrami in the fridge right now. And
oh.
it is that cocktail is going this Sunday. So we are smoking it up and it's gonna be good. I'll take a picture. Take some
Okay.
pictures.
So what's your 4th of July spread gonna be? Do you know?
Basically, I'm just gonna make some Reubens. I got my
Rube
cool
it up.
from those who remember. I got my cool deli slicer, so I'm gonna pull that out
When did you
and
get
slice
that?
some thin
I don't
pastrami.
remember
I
that.
got it for Christmas 2020. Yeah, 2020.
Okay.
And
So that was
well, yeah, I believe it was 2020, and it was like one of the best gifts ever. I got it from my Reddit Secret Santa, which was
Oh, okay. That
amazing.
rings a bell
Mhm.
now. Yep.
Yeah, and
Did you do that this year? Have you been doing that still?
they just cut it down. They shut it off, and it sucks.
Oh,
It was like they were like it's too much expenses, and I'm like, forget expenses. We'll pay to join. Like just like ask for like $3 to even join, and we'll pay. But they didn't do that. They just shut it down, and I was like, oh, that was such a fun
well,
thing every year, and
that
they were
probably
growing every year.
you're the kind of guy that could set something like that back up though.
No.
Like that's in your wheelhouse of talent.
In terms of talent, maybe, but in terms of credibility, probably not. Like they wouldn't be like, "Hey, this guy, why don't you set it up?" You know.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
You need some more upvotes.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Exactly. So I am entry buzzing. Not a great rye. This is the
Is it
third edition of Lot 40, the one we drank with Matt Porter.
so that's the one I
That
have. I thought I had 2. I have 3 then.
oh, that's too bad.
I haven't opened that one. That one I
It
haven't
doesn't
opened.
have a yeah, that makes more sense that you got the third one. Yeah, so you
Yes,
can
then I have the 2. Yeah, the 3.
figure it out one day what to do with
But I'm
that
saving.
bottle.
That's hopefully I get some better bottles for
Give it to your
big
French
events.
Canadian friend on his
I do.
wedding.
I do have a soon to be ex Canadian brother-in-law that I like a lot.
Oh, cool. OX.
So, well, yeah, my sister's going through a divorce.
That's hard.
I mentioned that. I don't think I explicitly said it.
I don't think
just said
I've
I
met
got
your
some bad
sister.
news.
Yeah, I remember this actually. You told, this was kind of a hard time for you and your
Yeah,
sister.
It
And
was like
it was also something else going on, if I
pre-Christmas.
remember correctly. That
Yeah,
stinks.
yeah.
Sorry,
Wisconsin
Chad.
hated.
Yeah,
Who's Chad?
I figure that's the name of your ex-brother-in-law.
Close.
Oh yeah,
CHR. Chris.
Chris,
Yeah.
Charles.
Speaking of Canada, we're recording on Canadian Independence Day today.
Hey-o.
So good job, Canada. You know how I know that? Because we
Yeah.
we had to get a new calendar, and apparently ours isn't American because it has like every other nationality's holidays. But I was like,
Oh,
oh, so I
that's
was like, oh,
funny.
more than like had like things I've never heard of. I'm like, well, let's
Mhm.
look at the 4th. That's coming up.
And
There's
it's
no
not
4th of
mentioned.
July. There's no
Oh, that's
Independence Day
funny.
on it. So I'm like,
Anti-American
I don't know where
calendar.
it came from. Yeah, I don't. I have to probably. I don't know why that wouldn't be on there. If you have
Well,
like, and like there's like very international looking holidays, and so you figure if they put Canada on there, they're thinking of North America, so they would have
yeah,
America on
seriously.
there. I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah. Hey.
So
Anyway, how else
otherwise,
you doing?
I think I'm really just excited about the pastrami, and work was, standard this week, and luckily we have the 3-day weekend with the 4th of July. Otherwise, just chilling, man.
Yeah, good. That's good. Yeah, so like you get the 3-day weekend now. Have you okay, question. Fireworks. What's your fireworks legality status where you live?
No explosives. I think sparklers are allowed, but like no actual explosive, which sucks.
That's sad. That is
because I like to blow things up. It done got blown up. Wasn't that
done got shrunk tiny toilet?
There was something on a prior episode where we're like, and it got blown up real good.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't even. I barely remember the meat slicer.
Bryce is gonna be like, I remember that episode or something like that, and I will feel so good inside when he does that. I got blown up real good.
So 4th of July, like where I grew up in Washington, it was like like a standard 80s 4th of July, and then the 90s hit and regulations came in, and it was like sparklers are good, like poppets are good, little smoky things are good. You can't have like mortars and things like that. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess that's just the way it is. Then we moved to Idaho, and Idaho is, dude, I tell
bottle
you what,
rockets.
There's some backward stuff in Idaho, but like 4th of July, it goes off. We flew. I remember when my brother-in-law John got married, we flew back from Mexico on the 4th of July, and as we're flying in, it was the most beautiful thing because it's like mortar.
Oh, you can see it from the plane. You're saying?
Oh yeah.
That's great.
No, it's like it goes nuts, and like one of my favorite things to do is like, after the shrooms get down and it gets dark, I'll go sit out in the back patio, have a cigar, and just listen. Like it's like, like it feels like the 4th of July. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you earlier, but then I forgot about it. Like, do you smoke cigars? And that's good to know. I smoke the occasional cigar, but only for special occasions.
I usually have one on the 4th of July ish, somewhere around there. 4th of July, Father's Day ish. And then the other thing too, so like having a cigar isn't easy to light fireworks with, right? Because you got your cherry on there, you just light your firework, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But like, maybe one or two a year, maybe none a year. Sometimes I don't do it. So yeah.
I'm a 1 or 2 max a year kind of guy. But I think I mentioned it. I got this one with like the Blantons.
Yeah. Have you had that yet?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do that tomorrow?
No, I might
today
drink it
when this airs.
I might drink your cigar. Smoke it. Maybe I will drink it.
And then you can sue Blanton's.
Smoke it.
Like, Blanton's made me drink a cigar.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll smoke the bottle later. The Blands. Yeah.
There you go.
I like a good smoke. Although I think it was the most recent time the second most recent time I felt like sick.
I don't like it. So I enjoy it when I'm smoking it. And like, give me about 24 hours, my mouth just is awful. I'm like, it was.
Oh really?
What? I have a lot of regrets. I'm like, it just tastes everything. I don't like it.
My wife is anti. I mean, like, it makes sense. You don't want a dude who just smoked a cigar sleeping next to you. So I usually have to like take a shower and like
for yourself,
mouth rinse. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Chelsea's
so
like,
man. No, she tolerates it, but it's not. She definitely does not prefer it. Yeah. But
for
I'm
sure.
no at 4th of July today when this comes out. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do some ribs, and I'm gonna do.
Nice.
Did I talk about my last chicken I smoked?
No, tell me about it.
Sucker
Sounds great.
sucker. So I got a new way to. I'll brine it. I
Yep.
spatchcock it.
Nice.
Dry rub it, and then
Uh-huh.
or before I dry rub it, I'll make slits in the skin and put butter underneath.
Ooh.
And they usually turn out great. So Father's Day is like that's what I want to do because last time I did it was so good. It took I want to say like 6 hours to
That's a
finally
long
get
time
to
for a
temp.
chicken.
Exactly. It's
Oh,
usually
to temp? Oh, like the
to
chicken.
165. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's too bad.
super long. So now I'm like I want to do a chicken on the 4th, but I'm a little scared because I'm like we're gonna have people over and I don't want it to be like. So what I always tell people when they come over too and we're smoking, I'm like the big when Chelsea will be like,
Food
how long
comes
till
out when
dinner?
it
How
comes
long
out.
till dinner? I'm like, hey, we're at the mercy of the meat, man. Like not meat, man.
I like that.
Mercy of the meat.
Mercy meat.
I'm like the meat will let us know when we're ready to eat. So yeah.
That I smoked 2 butts for Beck's birthday party last weekend. I guess that's what happened since the last time we recorded, right? No,
well,
we
didn't. No, we talked about it
Sunday?
because a little boy got a little shovesy.
That's right. Little girl.
And Bryce Marito's like, I don't care who.
If
does
it's
anything,
safety,
if my
I'm
kid
like,
or not,
you're right. Bryce.
I will get down. Yeah, Bryce made me feel like a bad dad.
Bryce is a good guy.
Bryce went Bluey's dad on it and made me feel like a bad dad.
No, it's good
because Bluey's dad's so good.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I can't remember his name.
But yeah, I think it's just dad, right? I don't know.
No, he's got a name.
Oh, okay, Roland or something.
Roland's my neighbor. He does the news.
Ooh.
Channel 6.
Oh, really? I have a news neighbor as well. Is it your direct?
Do you really?
News? Yeah, literally, like an anchor right next to my house.
Yeah, so do I.
That's crazy.
Roland Barris.
Her name is Shelby Brown.
And what channel is she on?
CBS 6, Richmond.
So 6.
Yeah,
man, coast to
That's
coast.
So cool.
We know the most.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of weird too, though. Like everyone's, I'm like I'll have the TV on. I'm like, oh, there's Roland. Look at Roland.
There's neighbor.
Yep. Hey, neighbor.
That's cool. I'm sure Roland's a cool guy. But yeah, I'm smoking 2 butts last week, and they like got up to temperature perfectly. Like I was so pleased with how they like incrementally went up, and I had probably over an hour before I needed to like actually present them. So
nice.
It was perfect. So
that's the thing.
This like brisket will be different though. Like we're gonna have to drive after. So tomorrow night I'm gonna have to like throw it on so that it's ready by noonish Sunday.
So that's the thing is like with like a bigger cut, you expect to hit that wall,
dude,
and it just sits. And I have no idea why this chicken did it. I even tried multiple thermometers.
That's weird.
I'm like, it's
chicken,
not moving.
Especially.
Yeah, I don't know. But then, so then I was like, when I pulled it off, I was like, this is probably gonna suck. It's probably turned into jerky. Like it's gonna be so dry. No, it was perfectly moist and awesome still. But it just took forever.
It's so weird.
It was weird. Anyway.
But you had that nice butter under the skin and all that stuff. It's good
Dude,
stuff.
I'm telling you, that's the way to do it. You got to try it, man. It is
brine
it, butter under the skin, like chop probably like a 3/4 of a stick. Just go slabs under all the major cuts.
Yeah.
I
bet it like tasty. Just like completely like when it melts, it like completely fills in the skin, you know.
Dude,
so that
it is so moist and like flavorful. Oh, it is the way to do it.
We're gonna start another podcast called Moist Barbecue. Moist Butts. Yeah.
Hashtag
don't search that hashtag. Yeah. Next to rear entry buzz. So I guess it's probably plenty of time to shoot the breeze. Let's go for a quick summer walk, and then when we come back, we'll talk about Preservation Distillery and very old St. Nick bourbon. So here we go to break. We'll be right back. And we're back after that beautiful walk. So some notes I wanted to get to before we get to the history. A big shout out to Ben Klepsig, the baller, the man, the myth, the legend.
For every reason. He's
Oh,
the
give me a moment.
biggest.
Give me a freaking moment. Thanks,
Your
Ben,
bulbous glass
for
holder
sharing
does not do a
this.
good ding
Yeah.
ding.
Well, this one's like I think they call it like Canadian whiskey glass or something.
Well,
Let me give it
hey.
another shot. That's better.
Oh, okay, that was better. Your first placement was off.
Canada, am I right? But thank you, Ben, for sharing the sample we're drinking today of the very old Saint Nick. And also, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing a drink along soon. Details to come, so keep an eye out. That could be in the next few weeks for sure. So here we go. Let's talk about very old Saint Nick. So this is definitely our first episode regarding very old Saint Nick or Preservation Distillery. So there's some cool background I wanted to talk about on this. So the very old Saint Nick brand was originally started decades ago, according to multiple sources. But from what I found, 1984. But the bottle says, on like the actual bottle, it says established in 1987. So let's just assume the 80s they've been rocking. But it was first created as a holiday special. And from what I hear, it was pretty much only sold in Japan. Bourbon from the US sold in Japan. And at the time, and that actually matches up with where bourbon had a downturn in the US, but it had a really big uptick in Japan. And that's why Age International bought Blanton's, because it was not doing well in the US, but it was doing really well in Canada. So here we go. So at the time, it was the preservation, or not the preservation, the brand was based as a sourced whiskey. And it had been for many decades just sourced. Until recently has Preservation been making very small batch products on their own. According to their website, Preservation's products are made in 1 to 3 barrel batches. And they're very proud of the fact that they are the only distiller in Nelson County, which Nelson County involves Bardstown, and which is where they're located. And they're the only one in Nelson County that uses only copper pot stills for their bourbon.
Benjamin,
I see what you did there, Robbie. For those on YouTube, he perfectly lined up his pupil and with the light.
That's crazy.
That's pretty funny, actually. Another reason to watch us on YouTube.
Not the best reason to watch any YouTube, but a reason to watch
exactly. Exactly. From what I've seen, Old St. Nick, the brand, has somewhat of a cult following, but that doesn't always mean it's still good. Bourbon collectors loved the source stuff that Old St. Nick was putting out because they were sourcing great barrels. In fact, but it was even more. I'm sorry, but that was even before they were sourcing. What the crap did I write?
Yeah, you need to learn to write things more clearly. You need to write more clearly, because I would never do something like that.
Yeah, exactly. or a Songle barrel. No, that was before sourcing was even popular. And in fact, with the bourbon boom, there are many people and producers that feel like all the superior, like amazing barrels were taken already, and we're still trying to catch up with demand versus how many barrels are aging to appropriate ages. I'll give one example of a brand that has suffered even with a cult following legacy from years past, and that's Black Maple Hill. And it's a very similar story, to be honest. Black Maple Hill started in the year 2000, and they only sourced, but it was said that that they sourced a ton. What's that from?
Conan O'Brien.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah. They only sourced, or it was said that they only sourced from Stitzel Weller, and there's even rumor that it was distilled by Julian Van Winkle himself, the third. Either way, collectors were snatching up bottles of Black Maple Hill left and right. But in recent years, I've found that Black Maple Hill is nothing great, to be honest. They apparently bought out a craft distillery in Oregon and started producing things like Black Maple Hill Oregon Rye, which is actually, to be honest, it's not a great whiskey. It's one of the worst whiskeys I've ever had.
2?
What's that?
Episode 2 or 3?
We never drank. Or did we drink it?
I think it was like.
I don't think we ever did.
I think you did. You keep talking. I think it's like
Okay,
episode 2
you
or
look
3.
it
I think
up.
you
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
All that to say, I'm seeing something very similar happen with Old St. Nick brand. Used to be a killer sourcing bottler, but now just has a small craft distillery. I've never had Old St. Nick or anything from Preservation, but I'm a little weary. But I'm keeping up some hope and keeping an open mind on this review. That being said, I would believe that what we're drinking today, a 12-year bourbon, is not made by Preservation directly, but is probably sourced. Not sure from where exactly, but it seems like it's mostly Kentucky bourbon from what I've researched. So let's talk about what we're drinking today.
Let's
Very
do
Old
that.
St. Nick Antique Barrel 12-year bourbon. Specifically, lot number 33 on the bottle. Don't know what that means in terms of lot. Maybe it was a batch. 90.2 proof. So, middle of the road proof. It is considered small batch, even though there's no exact qualifier of what a small batch is. It's a 12-year, but from my research, some of the barrels might reach as high as 15 years that went into the bottle. The back label of the bottle says, quote, "This legendary bourbon whiskey was crafted and bottled using crystal clear water, the finest ingredients, and small premium charred oak barrels, giving it a richly unique and smooth flavor." Unquote. Interesting. First of all, I should hope that the water they're using to make this whiskey is crystal clear. I'd be worried if it wasn't. But secondly, did you catch the barrel size, Robbie?
No, say it one more time. I was looking.
It said the finest ingredients and small premium charred oak barrels. Interesting. We got a 12-year small barrel product potentially. I don't know what they mean by small, but I imagine it's not the 55
if it's
or 53
smaller,
gallon
you're
barrels.
going to hear Cole holler. He hates that stuff.
Yeah. We'll find out. I've enjoyed many small barrel product, but it's not often.
Soapy. Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. We might get that. It's 12-year though, small barrels. You don't
That's
age
a long
small barrels
time.
12 years.
That's
So
almost
anyway,
like 48 years in a regular barrel.
Exactly. And soap years. But
So
I'm seeing on Total Wine 220 a bottle. But Ben, he said he wasn't sure, but he was thinking about 170 is what he bought it for. But so likely between the two. But let's drink.
No, is it time? Well, let's do that.
Yeah, so let's crack this. I got my handy dandy sample bottle and my handy dandy stemmed Glencairn bottles.
Stem Karen, if you will.
Stem Karen, you know what I'm saying?
Oh boy. Ben poured this sample bottle straight to the top. It's almost bubbling over.
What a baller. Give me a moment,
Seriously.
Ben.
Ooh, that Stemla Karen
Yes.
Came through. For sure.
Certainly.
How long? And he sent this a while ago.
He did.
I've been wanting to do this one for a while.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised that it was pretty close with Dalmore 18, which also was a Ben Klepsik joint. I thought it originally was a Sean Ciaro joint, but both of them were Ben Klepsik joints. But what was I going to say? Yeah, it's been a while since we had this one.
So I'm getting
it doesn't smell like small barrels. I'll tell you that.
I'm getting a lot of cherry. A lot.
Yeah. I was thinking just general bourbon notes, but cherry is definitely present.
Getting like a Bing, like a dark cherry kind of.
Bing.
Yeah. A Bing.
You ever drink the Bing energy drinks?
Bing or Bang? Are they Bang?
Bing. There's both.
Bing?
There's Bing, but it's like a cherry-based energy drink. It's pretty good.
Oh, I think I've seen it. No, I've never had that. No. Nope.
This smells great. But just
cherry-based?
Cherry and bourbon. Yeah, it's not cherry-based, but it's their big thing is cherries.
Cherry flavored? Or they get the energy from cherries?
Maybe. You never know.
Really sweet though. It's like a very sweet, darker cherry kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm getting a tiny bit of oak. Not a bad thing. Tiny bit of oak there too.
Little bit. Oh gosh, yeah. No, that's oak. Never mind. I got a little oak on it. All right, I'm going for a sip here.
Okay. So there's a lot going on here. I am not displeased. I am impressed with this. Just a general, like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was wheated bourbon, to be honest. I don't know. It's got a flat sweetness to it, almost like a brown sugary sweetness to it. It is not too fruity, besides a little bit of cherry notes. I definitely could get cherry notes, but it's not like bright. But it's also like, I wish in a way, like, this is good, but I wish it were higher proof a little bit. But chocolatey, tiny bit, but in a really good way, chocolatey.
I feel like this might be proof just about right, like mouthfeel wise, at least. I get a little bit of bitterness on the back end, but there's a lot going on there, a lot to unpackage, but nothing is really super prominent. I get a little bit, like, I think probably this, like, it's sweet. There's definitely a good sweetness to it. But like you were saying, it's not like an overpowering. It's kind of like a brown sugar kind of a sweetness where it's just like, hey, I'm here and I'm sweet. Isn't that neat? But I do get a little bit. I think oak is probably the most forward.
Yeah, but it's not like, to me, it's not a bad oak.
It's not a bad oak. No, it's fairly mellow. Like, again, there's a lot going on there, and I think it's one of those things where this would be a good bottle just for sitting around and sipping, right? Like, with a group of people, like, oh, you getting this, getting that, and like really kind of like Da Vinci coding it and pulling it apart.
Yeah.
So
what's killing me is the price tag. This is good, but I don't know about 170 to 220 range.
But it's a limited amount of bottles too, right?
I don't know. That I don't know.
I'm gonna say
it says lot 33, but I don't know what that means.
I would say if this is just in a series, limited amount of bottles, but price, if it was something where it was like harder to get, I think it is. I mean, I don't ever see it on the shelf, so it's got to be harder to get.
We saw it behind the case in Total Wine usually, but I did see it.
I don't necessarily look for it either, though. But I will say it's like, I will say there's a certain strata to whiskey drinkers where for something special, you don't mind throwing down that amount. I think this could be special in the sense that you have a group of friends that goes, hey, you know what? Let's just chip in X amount, and let's because there's a lot going on that you really could. I mean, nothing super prominent, but there is a complexity to the flavor. So, you right there, Cole.
You ever see? I'm sure you've seen Office Space.
Yeah, of course.
He's like, and then for the first hour or so, I just space out.
I don't think you'd say something like that to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I think you'd get your butt kicked for that.
Yeah, exactly. I was quoting it the other day where they're like, yeah, that guy's straight shooter with upper management written all over him.
I do need to watch that.
But I was spacing out right there.
Speaking of shows, I started this week a show on Hulu called The Bear, and I'm really enjoying it. It got advertised on crazy to me, and like Instagram.
Was it good? You saying?
I really like it. It's got really, it's a simple premise.
Is it comedy?
No, but the dialogue it's more of a drama, but there's some dark undertones.
Nice.
But the dialogue is so well written that it's funny. So I think it's worth checking out. So The Bear on Hulu.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nose.
It's still
getting a
really
tiny
sweet.
bit of milk chocolate.
See,
not as much cherry, but definitely a lot more sweet, like you're saying.
When you said chocolate earlier, I could see that.
I
can't necessarily, like, I think just a regular chocolate, I can see kind of that, because like I think sometimes the dark like stone fruits like will kind of get into that chocolatey sweetness kind of a realm, and maybe that's, I can see a blend there, but I'm like not getting milk chocolate. To me, that's a lot sweeter, but duller, right?
That's what I'm getting, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. I respect it. I'm not getting it, but I respect it. I
Mm-hmm.
still get maybe because the sweetness is flattened. It's not as prominent.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm talking about. This is a good sipping whiskey with friends who really
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the Da Vinci Code.
Ooh, if you're
Yeah.
into that kind of thing.
Yeah, just taking things apart and analyzing it.
Mm-hmm.
This would be it.
I like it.
Not so much
It's
the
not like,
flagellation.
yeah, that too. But this is not blowing my mind. I like it though.
I like it too. And I think
Yeah.
that's the thing is I think price-wise, it's hard to be really behind it. It's got a great mouthfeel. I think ooh, move that bus. Drop that bus.
Drop that bus.
Mouthfeel wise, I think it's proof just about right. Even with water, I got a nice little burn on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Really mellow throughout. I think oak is still foremost on the palate for me. A little bit, but that sweetness is still there. So the water didn't kill the sweetness. I imagine ice is going to kill the sweet. Just saying.
On the nose, it kind of has. There's a little bit of lacking of sweetness. I have a hard time believing these are small barrels. So maybe they just said small as opposed to like a ton or a butt, for example, or a butt ton.
Hey-o!
Hey-o! Fire in the hole. That was a spitty ice cube.
Yeah. Well, it's been sitting here.
Another reason to watch on YouTube.
So I mentioned our ice cube maker a while back is not working well. So we've just been doing it like in the just regular way in the freezer. And some people in my family take more cubes and they refreeze and put back. So like these cubes were not the best cubes. I had like someone took them this morning.
Cubes.
Yeah. So subpar cubes. That sounds like the number one smash from Halfway to Heather.
Yeah, exactly.
Subpar cubes. Yeah, nose. What was that? Your fan dying?
You hear that?
I did.
Weird. Yeah, it just like went off kilter for a moment.
I thought you were just doing the swirly poo on your desk. Yeah. Nose wise, sweetness isn't there. Like it did kill it on the nose. So I don't know. What are you getting on the? What are you getting on the top?
It's no better. I mean, it's. I'm not getting any bitterness or anything, but it's just not better in any way. I'm getting a little bit of oak. It's sweet. It's definitely very sweet, but it's not impressing me at all. I would never again pour this with ice. It's just not better.
It's
but there is a weird finish actually.
It gets kind of spicy. The finish is a little spicy for me, like a little rice spicy. I mean, honestly, if you like whiskey with water, this is not a bad whiskey with water. It's not unpleasant.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Got a decent mouthfeel. The complexity isn't quite there, I think. I get a lot of spice, a little bit of oak, a lot of spice, and a mild sweetness to it. Not bad. I mean, like honestly, there's nothing bad about this whiskey, but I think price-wise, that's where it kind of hits you, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I like this a lot. And I think that's gonna be a hard thing is like getting a rating that's going to be separate from knowing how much it costs or how hard it is to get ish.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm able to separate.
You ready?
Time. Yeah. I'm going to go with the 8.8 here. It's good. Okay. It's good. It's not blowing my mind. But it's good. It's definitely good. I think the notes, it is, I wouldn't call it complex, but it's close to complex. It's got a lot going on at the front, especially for the neat pour. And there's nothing bad about it. There's nothing that I'm like, I don't like that part about it. Except for, in terms of the best pour, the neat pour, in my opinion, there's nothing bad about the neat pour at all. So 8.8. Yeah.
Okay, we're close. I think I am affected a little bit, maybe, but I'm going to go 8.6. Would I pass this up if someone handed me a glass? Absolutely not. Again, nothing bad about it. I just think, well, never mind. Even for the price, this is a really good whiskey. It's a good whiskey,
Yeah.
right? There's no hub to what about it. I think maybe sometimes when you get to that price point, you kind of like the hub to what goes away, where you're expecting to be impressed.
Yeah.
If you told me this was like a $40 whiskey, I'd be like, wow, okay, like yeah, I'll go for it. I'd probably get up to like close to a 9 status, but I'm gonna go 8.6, knowing just kind of the price and stuff.
Yeah.
That being said, again, like if you see a bottle and you want to sit around and have like a good tasting with some friends who really like to pull things apart,
Yeah.
chip in, get the bottle, and have a good night. Like it's there's some stuff going on there. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like it. Sweet. So I guess it's time now that we're done that to go to our next favorite segment of our show called Whiskey World News.
And we are back. It's time for a part of the show where we read an article, we talk about it, we didn't write it, we're just going to talk about it, and here it goes. It's titled Gold Spot Irish Whiskey Unveiled by Irish Distillers. It's from the Whiskey Wash, and it's written by my third favorite Whiskey Wash correspondent, Gary Carter.
Gary.
Yeah.
Is that from something?
Gary! No, I was like thinking SpongeBob, but I don't think I ever heard Gary, like SpongeBob's yell Gary. Like
I could see that, yeah.
But like in general, like I could just see Gary's nerdy best friend being like, Gary! All right, anyway. Irish Distillers recently joined with one of Ireland's last remaining wine merchants in a crafting special release called Gold Spot Single Pot. That rhymes. Still Irish whiskey. Limited edition whiskey honors the 135-year-old legacy of Mitchell & Son wine and spirits merchants. A statement from Irish Distillers notes that the new expressions pays tribute to the particularly colorful history of Mitchell's. Sorry, the apostrophe that looked like Michelelli's for a second there. I was like, what are they wrong? Whiskey bonding business was started in 1887. It was back then when the bonders sent empty wine and fortified wine casks to the local Jameson distillery to be filled with new single pot still spirit for maturation in its underground cellars. Once filled, the fortified wine cask will be marked with a daub or a spot of colored paint to determine the age potential with blue spot, green spot, yellow spot, red spot, respectively indicating the 7, 10, 12, and 15 years of whiskey within the spot range. The color gold is said symbolizes quality, prestige, specialness. I think we symbolize specialness. You're such a specialness about you. And celebration. Hence, the Mitchells chose the color to signify the relationship with the whiskey bonding over 7 generations and 135 years. The gold spot single pot, I like that, matured for a minimum of 9 years, and the expression was built. So great. Foundation of ex-bourbon and ex-sherry cask, typical of the spot whiskey style. It's blended with a unique proportion of hand-selected Bordeaux wine casks and port pipes. Port pipes?
It's a type of barrel.
A port pipe? Okay. All right.
Kind of similar to a butt or a ton or a butt ton.
Would a butt be bigger than a pipe?
Yes, I would imagine a butt is bigger than a pipe.
I would think so. All right. The inclusion of port casks.
What about a butt pipe?
Don't search it. I don't know. The inclusion of port cask sourced from Irish distillers partnered with Portugal's Douro Valley, and it's first for a modern iteration of spot whiskey. Working in collaboration with the Mitchells, the team in Middleton Distillery searched archive documents dating back to the late 1800s to show that significant quantities of port casks imported from Ireland, which once emptied, would have been used in mature whiskey. That inspiration led to the combination of the 4 different cask types chosen to impart flavors of what's described as vibrant fruits, enhanced by oak, tannins, and wood spices, with the port wine-driven cask adding an additional layer of complexity and character. The whiskey is available online from spotwhiskey.com and Mitchell & Son stores. Selected retailer suggested retail price, 120 euros. So there you go, Cole. Any thoughts about that?
What was the proof? Did it mention the proof? I forget. It was like 90 or something like that.
I did skip over that last couple paragraphs there. 51.4%. So 102.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yeah. In terms of this, I love the Spot line. I love the Spot brand. This was a 9-year, you said, as opposed to I think it was.
Was it 12 or not?
No, 12 is yellow, I believe.
Hold on here. Keep with your thoughts. I'll look back.
Yeah, so they like, I believe the blue is an 7 or 8 year. The green is a 10-year, I believe.
So
The 12
blue
is a
is 7,
12, or the
green
12 is a
is
blue.
10, yellow is 12, red is 15, and I still don't see where the gold is.
Gold is 9. I think it was on the title, I think. But I might be wrong.
No.
But I think I love the spots. I basically just sent that to Robbie earlier this week because I was like, oh, I would buy this. But the hard thing is that if it's 120 euros, that's like more than 120 bucks. So I'm not loving the price, but I would definitely buy it. It seems pretty limited too. I don't know. Did it seem like it was part of their line for good?
Gosh, why? No, I don't know.
No,
I
let's
don't
just
know.
say it isn't. Yeah. But I think
I would think it is. Honestly, like they're
okay.
just
I'd be
making.
down. I could see that. So
Although
I'd be
sometimes
interested.
collaborations go south. No, I think
Yeah.
it's really interesting. I think especially with the forecast that they're using there, and
Yeah,
um,
totally.
that being said, like today,
Mhm.
we drank a rather expensive whiskey today, and
Totally.
it was worth it in the sense
Mhm.
that
We didn't pay for it.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But would I go in with some people? Absolutely. So I think this is one of the
Yeah.
things where it's like, okay, let's check it out. Here's a bottle.
Yeah.
Let's have a good night. Let's all just pitch in,
Mhm.
and there you go. So,
Yeah.
and the spots
I
are
like it.
delicious.
Spots are
And like
delicious.
in general, we haven't had an Irish whiskey in a long time either, have we?
That's gotta happen soon.
Yeah, we
We
gotta
have
figure
a
that out.
few, I think, on the list.
I want to say I don't think we do any over March.
We did. We did, crap, what was it? Was it the, Redbreast single cat or single barrel?
Maybe I think we
Or
did at
single
least one,
cask or something like
but it's
that.
been a while. But I like Irish
Yeah.
whiskeys, so
Yeah, they're good. I was talking
yeah.
about it today. Got excited.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, to coworkers, I'm like, "Let me tell you about Irish whiskey." And I, like,
We
told them all the
talk.
rules and stuff. Huh?
Well, my favorite Irish whiskey.
Redbreast?
No,
21?
should we go into our next segment? I'll talk to you about the best
Let's
Irish
do
whiskey you
it.
ever heard. All right. So,
Yeah, let's do it.
um, last week we talked about we read an article about gosh, who's the country artist?
Toby Keith. No, it was, Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson, and then the
Mhm.
other one was what was the other artist?
It was the Always Sunny in Philadelphia cast.
Look at you go, Cole. I
Mhm.
totally spaced. So we talked about
Mhm.
collaborations with celebrities being
Mhm.
and using it for whiskey clout. And
Yeah.
what I wrote for Whiskey World News was, "What whiskey would your make of you could partner with anyone?"
Were you drunk?
No, I was trying to parent and realized we had to
Oh,
record today,
nice.
and I better get it in so we can at least get somebody to respond.
Nice.
And my favorite Irish whiskey is the one I went with: Boston Baked Beans, Boston's best
Yep.
bourbon, not bourbon, Irish whiskey single barrel. And
By
Cole
the
went
Mighty
with
Mighty Boss Tones.
with the Mighty Mighty Boston, and Cole went with huge whiskey with huge Ackman,
Hugh
Australian single
Jackman.
malt. And at this point, I did post it late and trying to parent. Yeah. Anyway, we're at 50. We're
Mhm.
tied 50-50. Um,
Nice.
we did have, and I posted it late, so we only had a couple write-ins.
Okay.
This one I think wins it. Drew Tolan said Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace,
Yeah.
barrel proof bourbon, heavy char, French oak finish. Like he thought about this. I'm like, that
Yeah,
sounds
seriously.
perfect. And
He would have killed it too.
if you could get Anthony Bourdain to sign off on something like that, I'd be like,
Yeah. I'd buy
I'm
it.
buying it too.
No.
And then Brian Rapp went with I'm currently in Iceland, so I'd partner with Floki, but my line would be called what, Cole?
Crap ski.
But not
Yeah.
saying crap.
Yeah. But the S
Which
word.
cracked me up.
Yeah.
And then our good friend John Hughes from Embellish Pod just said this sentence is broken and bowed out, and I don't blame him. Yeah,
Weird.
I do that a lot. And then some jerk named Seabald went with a single barrel scotch with Benedict Cumberbatch, and that was pretty good too. Anyway, so that was
CC
last
ball
week.
gets me every time.
Oh, that guy's a jerk. I'll tell you that much. He has no problem telling me when I've been dumb.
It's all good.
Which has happened a lot lately. So
I like the Brian Regan follow up. So
yeah, you got where I was
yeah.
going. You too.
Yeah, exactly. So next week on Chill Filtered, we're gonna be between two smoky. Go ahead. Oh wait, we're not done yet. We're not done. We're certainly not done. We're not done. We're totally not done.
So hey, folks, happy Independence Day here in the
Yeah.
Americas, in North America, not just North America, the United States of America. Don't want to be an
Yeah.
elitist there. Happy Independence Day. It's the 4th of July. You know, right now, as this episode comes out, Cole definitely has the pastrami on the smoker. I am prepping up some ribs and probably some chickens. Got the fireworks purchased. You got everything ready to roll. And you know, if you're listening to this show, you definitely have some sort of whiskey to be dranketed.
Yeah.
So the question is, and we'll post this early. We'll post this on Monday, assuming Robby is on top of his game. Which probably won't be, but hopefully he is. But what whiskey are you drinking today? What whiskey are you drinking to celebrate Independence Day here in the US of A? Cool. What you got a plan? What are you gonna drink to celebrate?
Eagle Rare, baby. Eagle Rare.
Ha ha! Ha ha!
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. And it's hard to just, although I might have a little Del Bach in there too, because they're a great American single malt.
You know what? There you go. Little old with the new. Perfect. I'm not sure what our plans are exactly. We might have people over here, or we might go over to my brother-in-law's.
Nice.
If we have people over here, we'll be drinking a lot of different ones because the people that we'll have over, they like to sample stuff. So we'll drink whatever I have on the shelf. But in general, I think if we go over there, I will definitely be drinking just Buffalo Trace. I think Buffalo Trace is a great American bourbon. I found a couple bottles this week on the shelf.
Nice.
And there you go. So I got some Buffalo Trace, and I am definitely going to make some smoky cocktails, some old-fashioned, smoky old-fashions with
the chill filtered on it.
Oh, you betcha.
Love it. I think so. I never mentioned this earlier, but Heather got me one, and I think she got the logo on it, if I remember.
Oh,
correctly.
yeah?
Yeah.
I have to look for that. Sweetness. Yeah. That's nice. Good wives.
Good wives. So, as I was saying.
Oh, before I so rudely interrupted with the actual
exactly.
segment.
With the important stuff. Yeah. Next week, we're going to be between two smoky single malts. We're going to be between Amber Fusion, which is an Indian single malt. And it's smoky and it's good. But then we're also putting it against the Compass
Peat
Box
Monster.
Peat Monster.
Which I found on the shelf.
I believe the Amroot is a Ben Klepsik joint again. And then I know the Peat Monster is a Sean Sierra joint. So keep an eye out. Vote this week. We want to hear from you to what we're drinking next week. So keep on Instagram. All right.
Keep on Instagram on.
Keep on keeping on Instagram. Robby, I hope that you have a fantastic Independence Day.
Cole, I hope our listeners do as well. I hope they're having their favorite whiskey. I hope they're replying to our Instagram poll of what whiskey they're drinking today. Maybe even sending some pictures. But I really hope they're also practicing fireworks safety.
Yes. And I hope that our listeners remember what 4th of July is all about, blowing things up.
Cole, I believe 4th of July is also about the 3 Bs. Bushes, baked beans, bourbon,
baked,
and buttloads of whiskey.
Yep. But I hope, listeners, that our love of spirits lifted yours.
Ha ha!